Two setups, this one here and this one here. That's it. Once it gets down.
Yeah, so I guess the first one is kind of like you've got a reversal of trend and you're selling the first retest, and the second one is you've got a confirmed trend and you're selling into the bounce kind of thing.
Exactly. And this is why I don't try to take this peak, because once this 1350 crosses, this pattern for me is locked in and it's now short, especially with the market baseline below the static. So once we get that change in character from here, it's kind of just bouncing around, because this could do this all day, right? This could literally do this all day long. And we've seen it do it plenty times before. I'm not interested until it breaks all of that, retest it, and then drop, right? And I want to take this move. This is the first move that I take, right? And that's literally, guys, why I don't take peak trades, because it could do this. It could chop up here for days. You gotta see, let me show you something. Silver did this last week, and then it finally broke the trend, right? Just look at this. Same exact setup, guys. If you check this out, 1350 cross right here, right? We had this funny structure at the top, right? We got the small run, first pull back to the 50, and it drops. This is magic. This is my number one setup. But after this, remember I told you the next move you're looking for is the 50 and the 200 to cross to take the M off the 200. But what do we have here? This thing chopped for days, from the June 12th all the way until June 17th. This is 5 trading days that it just chopped up. Couldn't even do anything about this. So you don't never want to continue like how I take the very first time the 1350 cross, and then the run, the first bounce off the 50 going short towards the 200 is my target. You can't take the rest of these though, because this ends up happening sometimes. Right?
We should probably.
Now, if you can see right here, this doesn't count because there's no pullback to the 50, right? We got a 1350 cross.
Right there.
Yeah, but there's no pullback, no run and a pullback to the 50. Hence why the next move here would be, as you can see, this 50 and this 200, they're trying to cross now.
Take this here.
Right?
Take this,
so that would be the move, or the cross, and then you want to see price do something like this.
This is gonna be
M structured, short. This is the next move in the cycle. Level 1 move, level 2 move, and that's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. I don't care about nothing else that happens in this structure. I only care about these two.
Stuff is starting to move.
Right, but yeah, this is a great example of why you cannot take the second and third and fourth bounce, because you would have tried to take this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. You would have tried to take this 4 more times, and it never worked out. Why?
You know what they say. They say you can only go to the well so many times, huh?
Yes. You go to the well 1 time, which is right here, the first bounce. That's it. You don't go to. There's no coincidence, right? Once again, I can't make this up. There's no coincidence that out of everything that's happened, as soon as this price closed below the 13 here, this huge candle, and 1 candle, boom, you made your money. 1 candle.
Yeah.
You got to be.
I guess you got to be pretty kind of on it to wait for that, because that can happen very quickly.
It can. So for me, as soon as the 1350 crosses, and I get that first pullback, as soon as price touches the 50 EMA the first time, I'm setting an alert. I'm an alert person. I will have 13, 14, 15 alerts on going at 1 time on my trading view, because I don't want to miss anything. And it actually works out great, because I got the Apple Watch, so the app on my phone, so it'll just alert me. I'll do something like this. Just do it here. Yeah, I'll just put in my message, I'll just put you know, what type of setup this is. So I might say, hey, this is the master trade, right? So then I'll just put the alert on there. And when price does touch this, it comes to my watch. And I basically tell myself, hey, the master trade is setting up. I just come back to my charts and I can see it. But yeah, so getting back to EG, which is the one I'm in now.
All right, we just
started. Same exact setup, though, guys. I'm gonna take all this mess off the screen. I'll leave this one on though.
So we just did see a little
take everything else off. All right, sweet. Yep. So this is literally, as you guys just showed you on silver, the exact setup. For me, it's only. I think I might have pointed this out, but I classify all my trades. So I have 5 setups. Right, one is the master trade, which this is the master trade, and for me, this is an A trade. That's exactly what this is. It's the master trade. My next setup will be a combo trade. This is also an A trade. My next setup is what I call an ID50. This is the only trade that I take off the 15-minute chart. Next up would be my M or W, M/W. Oh, that's ugly. Off the 200. Now this is a B trade. That's a B trade because it tends to come back sometimes, and then it'll make this last setup I have, which is the money trade. And this is also a B trade. So obviously all of these have different characteristics depending on what it looks like. Yeah, they all have their own criteria, own rules, all of this good stuff. And yeah, when one of these in that pattern that I drew, right, that market maker structure, it'll always, every one of these trades that I have will always be in level 1 or level 2. That's it. So I'm really just identifying which setup this is.
Stop fill.
And I'm applying my
stop fill. We should move that. We're not gonna worry about that.
Sorry to interrupt you.
That's fun.
Sorry to interrupt. I can see a question come through about. Do you see the question there about gold?
No. Let me take a look at it.
I can read you. Does he trade gold?
Trade gold. Yes. Yep. All right. So absolutely, I do trade gold. Let me show you a great example of this working out on gold. I took gold last week before, I want to say. It was a W. It was a head and shoulders pattern off of the 200 EMA right after the 5200 crossed. So let's check this out. Where is this? Okay, so it wasn't last week. Oh, here it is right here. All right, so remember, once the 5200 crosses, as I showed earlier on the diagram,
So many prop firms.
I'm looking for a W, a half a bat, or I'm looking for a head and shoulders pattern. And look at this. If this isn't a head and shoulders pattern, I don't know what it is. Left shoulder, head, left shoulder, run up. I smashed this trade actually. Not hit it a little bit. I smashed this trade. This is like textbook. Especially off the 200 EMA. So I love to see these moves. But yeah, once this closed here. Now, the only thing that was off with this one is I typically don't trade Sundays, but I seen this the week before. And I was looking for, let me zoom in just a little bit. I was looking for a break above this little area here, which this candle gave us right away. And I remember this specifically because I got in at 33.06 was my price. So I waited, it's closed. I waited for a slight pullback. And I entered right here at 33.06. Boom, right here is when I bought this. I went long right here. Let me change the color on this to keep it congruent. All right, cool. So yeah, literally grab this trade right here. And You got to put your stops below the last swing point, which is here. This is a nice 2% trade. I targeted.
Right, so far, it's just been ranging right there.
Actually, don't remember which one. It was either this price or this one. Let's see. It was only 2. Okay, so yeah, it was this first one. This was a nice, and as you can see, it continued to go up like crazily. But yeah, I targeted this blue tracer over here, which is one of the previous day's highs. And that was just like a nice target for me. Nice 2, risking $1 to make $2.27. Absolutely perfect. Right. And this is literally the same exact setup that I take all the time, guys. All the time. As soon as the 5200 cross, once again, you're looking for that pattern off the 200. One of those 3 patterns. In this case, it was the inadvertent head and shoulders pattern. Oh, I'll turn this.
The wrong frequency.
Green, but I guess it didn't. But yeah. So to answer your question, does this work on gold? Absolutely, it does. This works on all the pairs, all of them. Gold is, I will say, it's finicky. You kind of got to be patient with it and make sure you're paying attention, because this thing, it could be far away from your price and then it confirms pretty quickly, or you can
order filled.
And it goes against you pretty quickly. So
order filled.
Gold, I don't step away from the charts too much because it's just so fast moving. I don't do that with a few of them, actually. I don't do that with NQ, US 30, S&P, gold, and Bitcoin. This is why these are pretty much at the top. I don't step away from the chart too much if I trade off one of these, because they just move entirely too fast. Way too fast. And then I actually have another example, guys, of this same exact pattern working out on USD CAD. So just check this out once again. 5200 cross, shoulder, a mental glimpse of this. And then if we go over to USD CAD,
yes, it was over there.
Same exact thing happened.
No, don't drop. What are you doing?
You can see it beautiful right here. It's actually right in front of our face. All right.
What are you doing?
5200 cross. The next thing you're looking for is that movement off the 200.
Come on.
Which we have right here. Shoulder, head, shoulder, drop. This works all the time. This is actually one of my favorite setups is to take the head and shoulders pattern. Right off the 200. I can't even make this up. It just works like this. But yeah, that is pretty much it for me for now. Just a quick little intro and see what I got going on. Let's take a look at EG. Is it going against us? What's happening over here with EG? Yep, so we pretty much right back at break even. So we will see. And again, I'm half on this position. As I mentioned, I don't like to trade too heavy on the day after holidays. I know we were off yesterday for Juneteenth on the States. It was a U.S. holiday. So I just like to take it easy, especially on Fridays. I do trade Mondays and Fridays, but I'm a bit more cautious because for me, that's the trap move. They like the trap traders on Monday and Fridays. So I try my best to stay away from that. And when Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays are like my prime days, so to speak. But yeah, I saw my A setup, which again is the master trade. I gotta take it. It's per my rules is I have to take my A+ setups. But yeah, guys. Any questions on any of this before I pass it to one of you guys?
Ooh, looks pretty good to me.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah,
cool.
We got any more questions?
Come on.
Anything? Hey, what's up, Robert?
Hey, Rob.
I'm on session 1 today, buddy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've got a few.
Robert,
I've got a few things going on my side.
Yes, please, Howard. Please share.
Okay. Yeah. Quite a busy day or two actually. So let me
Stop
just
filled.
dive in 1 second. So I got a few trades on the systems the last couple of days. Well, from yesterday, I basically had system buys on the yen crosses. So euro yen, sterling yen, and dollar yen, all three of which are kind of doing okay. And the trades are still running, and they'll be running until close to the end of the day because they've got a time limit on them. And Bitcoin was one which I picked up this morning. Let me just quickly go through some of these charts. So the Bitcoin one from this morning was one of the components of one of my systems is a narrow range breakout where I wait for the volatility to contract like it has done. Yesterday formed a very narrow range for Bitcoin. So it literally just jumps on the breakout, and that's essentially what it did this morning. So it went long right here. I've taken partial profits at the first calculated level, and the stop loss is now at break even. So it's kind of risk-free from here on in. So that's Bitcoin. And going back another day, so dollar yen took a long position yesterday, and it sat through a bit of chop. So it was initially quite good, rallied up, came back to close nearly unchanged, and then a bit of a dip in the Asian session today. But now, as you can see, the dollar yen is starting to break higher. And it's actually a yen move because there's no big move up or down on the dollar crosses really. It really is kind of like a yen-based move. So this is euro yen, where the system it took a losing trade yesterday, which thankfully I never took because it was in Asia, and I try not to take the trades that happen when I'm sleeping. So it actually went short euro yen here, and then it went down, but then it came all the way back up, and then it did a reversal trade to long. So I came in here and I basically jumped in on the long side when I saw the reversal to long. And then subsequently, market hit the first target yesterday, pulled back, and then hit the second target earlier today. And it's still holding that last third of the position. So it went long at 66, call it 75, 75 and a half. And we're up quite big over a big figure on that. And as I say, it closes the position. Once there's two targets. Once the targets are hit, then the rest of it is just held with a trailing stop until the time exit kicks in, and that's usually at the end of the next day, kind of thing. So that's euro yen, so still long, and sterling yen, similar kind of picture there. Where again, thankfully, there was a losing trade in Asia, 2:30 in the morning, which I didn't take. Quite thankfully. So I came in the next day and I saw the reversal to the upside. So I thought, okay, that's it. That's a lovely reversal. So I went long, first target, second target, and still long with the last bit, holding it until towards the close of today. So again, just going back to the order book, long at 194.92, and we're up nearly 2 yen on that position. So that's not too bad. So it does seem to be a yen-based move. It really is kind of like across the board. It's all about the yen. So let me just quickly present my screen on the platform. So just 1 second.
Let's see.
Okay, so this is the kind of trading platform.
Kind of all over the place right now.
Yeah. So these are the kind of positions I've got: sort of long euro yen, long sterling yen, long dollar yen, and long Bitcoin, and the stop is at break even kind of thing on the Bitcoin, and on the other ones they're better. So it really is all about the yen, and so let's kick it off with sterling yen first of all. So this is the weekly chart of sterling yen. So long term we're in this great big trading range, but of recent we can see that there is a kind of strong bullish bias because if we go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks or so, we had that kind of that kind of hammer, kind of bearish looking inverted hammer type thing, which normally would be a bit of a sell signal like it was here, but it tried to break down but snapped back up again. The buyers came in and up it goes. Same again this week. Market goes higher, they sell it, comes back down. Next week they try to take it down, but again the buyers step in at the low of the hammer. Boom, up it goes again. So you can see even last week, it opens here, trades down, snap back up again. So people are buying this market at higher and higher prices, which usually is a bit of a precursor to a breakout to the upside. And that looks like what's kind of happening here. It looks like a bullish consolidation on the daily. Daily chart here. So this is sterling yen. So here's the swing. And this to me looks like the correction. Could be a triangle or something like that if you're looking at price patterns on the daily chart. But certainly a kind of a trading range which is continuation pattern. And I think we're kind of on the verge of this big move higher on the yen crosses. So that's sterling yen. Just looking at euro yen, which is kind of its big brother or big sister, whatever you want to call it. So euro yen. So euro yen has been kind of leading the way a little bit. Same kind of picture on the weekly chart where it made an important high going back here in the last summer, came back down, but we've been in a trading range ever since. But again, as with sterling yen, we had this attempt at kind of topping out a few weeks ago, here and here, but the buyers stepped in at the higher and higher levels. And here we are breaking higher 1, 2, 3. This is like the fourth week to the upside and breaking through this resistance point. So it looks like euro yen's perhaps a bit stronger than sterling yen at the moment in terms of yen weakness. But yeah, I think the trend is pretty clear on this particular chart.
There's going to be some
any thoughts on the yen crosses, guys? Just quickly before I move on to the next one.
Yeah, they've been a little bit interesting lately, to say the least. I almost took UJ twice this week, but it never confirmed.
Yeah. I mean, it has this. It goes through these periods where it's like it just does nothing for several weeks, and it really is confusing. And you buy the high, you sell the low, but then eventually it breaks out, and then you get some nice moves, get some pretty good.
It's nice for swing trades.
Yeah. Good on the weekly and the daily charts, I would say. Intraday charts, perhaps not so much, in my opinion. Which is why it works well with the system, because the system holds it for a couple of days.
Funny enough, I did take AJ, so AUDJPY. I took that on the 16th for the same exact pattern, the head and shoulders off the 200.
Yeah. No, I think to some extent, I say this on a regular basis, that when the stock market is doing kind of okay, the yen crosses tend to want to move higher. Right. Now, it's not a very strong correlation all the time, but obviously we had a bit of a correction in the stock market lately.
I'm going to see if this works.
You can see what's going on.
So basically what I found out in this first 30 or 15 minutes is most of the volume is traded up here.
In that,
I'm going to
kind of made the major low, kind of retest, and then pretty much since that kind of retest, it's been up nearly every week since. And that is a good supportive scenario for the yen crosses, because typically when the stock market's strong or going or not falling, the yen crosses tend to want to go higher for whatever reason. So I think a stock market which is not crashing is usually quite supportive for the for the yen crosses.
We're gonna see.
So let's go back again.
Is the case
to
actually
so dollar yen. Okay, so dollar yen. You can see we've got this kind of it on a daily chart, and for me the bigger picture is still down. I think really as long as we're below this the swing high, but on a kind of a more of a shorter term, we've got this range taking shape where you can see a bit of latent buying here again. So even though the dollar is kind of weak across the board, really, not so much against the yen, because dollar yen seems to be trying to break above this lower high, settle above it, trying to push higher. Maybe it heads up towards the top of this range. So there's definitely some latent strength coming through on this market. Let's just go back to the weekly, the dollar yen. Which by the way, I still think has formed a major top, going back to last summer. First leg down, correction higher, next leg down, and we're in some kind of correction of this this move down, I think. So we just chop, in a trading range. I think eventually we break down, but for the time being, seems to be quite supportive for that. So Yes. So for me, I think the big play at the moment for me is being long the yen crosses at the moment. I'll come back. We'll talk about the other currencies a bit later. I'll hand it over. But right here, right now, they're my kind of current trades. Short the yen against the euro, the pound, and the dollar, and long Bitcoin based on that breakout trade that I took this morning. So I'll hand it over to you, Igor, and we'll talk about some of the other currencies a bit later.
Just so you guys a little heads up, I might have a trade set up in the next 10 minutes on AUD CHF short.
Target filled.
Yes.
So if this does convert in the next 10 minutes, I'll be able to take this live.
What's up with that?
Excellent. So first, thank you, Robert, and thank you, Sunarat, for your questions. Robert, you asked the question, which one of the guys holds long, super long trades? I have one NASDAQ trade. Later, I will show you that. But for now, let me just a little bit to give a fundamental introduction, and then we are going to the trades. So what I want just beginning to give some kind of the disclaimer for everyone, actually. It's about this weekend and the fundamentals that we have around last several weeks. First, in this week that just will pass, we know few things. First, all these major players, they keep their interest rates. So either the Japanese bank, either the British bank, etc., US bank, all of them just keeping their interest rate on hold. And what we figure out here is that whenever we get some kind of report related to the sales, retail sales, for example, or services or production, they're bad for every single country because of this tariff war. The US, UK, everyone has the problem with that. And this is why I think the market doesn't react on this kind of the news anymore.
It's taking yesterday's
in a big way as should be.
Today's.
So this is the first problem that we have right now. Of course, GDP for a lot of countries, we have a bad projections just because of this tariff war too. However, if we analyze some things related to the inflation, we can see that we have moderate increase in inflation, which is good for a majority of currencies and interesting for the next moves of the banks. What I want to tell you, and it can be important for all trades that you have, in my personal opinion, is that this weekend can be very tricky. Why? Because maybe there is a chance that America can be involved in the war on Iran. And if that happens, that there is a chance that US dollar can go higher, much higher, and stocks going down, which will shake the market. So I will close my trades on the end of the day, or I will keep few trades or one trade, but I will really reduce my position size just because possibility that this thing can happen in some moment. And now what I would like to do, I will create one trade, and later I will try to describe why I'm doing that. Just before that, I waited just to see the first half hour of the US Open, because I know that price will be better for me if I wait a little bit. So I think that I got better price, but I'm not sure that we will change something in the 1 hour after this. So this is my trading platform right now. And related to my platform, I plan to go long with the British pound dollar. Right now, I will buy, and I will put my stop loss to be at level 344, and my take profit, I want to be 357. So this is the in some way 1 to 2 kind of the trade. Actually 1.3575. This is something like that. And of course, at the end of the day, I will either close my trade, either I will reduce the position size as I can. And in the same time, what I will try to do, I will create one more trade. Just right now, I will buy gold. And I will buy gold just to reduce the position size like this. And I will describe my stop loss and targets in trading view. So what I will do right now, I will go to the trading view just to show you how I see these trades and why I'm doing this. Howard disappeared. I hope it's everything good with the internet connection. I will be here if there is a problem to put into the stage him again. So what I wanted to tell related to the British pound dollar first. So if I go to the 1 hour chart related to the British pound, from the yesterday, we start to go in some bullish momentum. We got a huge, almost 200 pips move down. And after that, everything changed, and now we are again in the bullish mode. However, this bullish strength is not so strong that I would like to see. So this is why I'm little worried about the price action during the Friday and during the next few days. Even I like to see new bullish moves here. The problem is the strength is not so strong, and the same thing is for euro dollar too. However, I put my bullish bearish invalidation point at 1.344, which is a little lower than simple moving average right now. And I think if we keep the price above the levels, I want to see the new highs. One of the important things, here is Howard, just to add him to the stage. Hello, Howard. Now, what I want to do, this 1.357 area, why? Because it was the point of control where price oscillates a lot during the Tuesday, 7th June. And it's a price that, as Howard like to say, act as a magnet very often. These highs and lows very often acts like a magnet, especially if this is a point of control when you analyze the volume profiles. So I hope that British pound dollar can reach this target and then retest the high of 1.362. So this is why I'm waiting to see how we'll react in the future. So I'm bullish British pound dollar. I'm bullish about 1.344. For euro dollar, very similar situation. Actually, for euro dollar, I'm bullish above 1.148 in this area. Again, little lower than simple moving average. And I want to see this interesting price level at 1.158. Why this level? This level, because this was not just the high in few moments. This level was a point of control where price oscillate a lot during the June 17, a couple days ago. It was a really interesting level, and I hope that we can reach this level. If not today, we can reach that Monday. However, I hope that fundamentally we will not have the U.S. interruption in the war between Israel and Iran. If that happens, fundamentally can change everything. So we need to be very cautious related to that moves. Now, the US dollar index, which is Hola, as you can see, we got a strong.
My bad, Igor, if you don't mind.
Really. Yes, please.
Oh, Igor?
Do you have a trade?
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you don't mind, really quick,
yes.
I want to just jump in it. It's on a EDCHF.
Of course, I will review. Just give the chart, of course.
Okay, my bad. I'll pass it right back to you. I just want to show this here. Yeah, this trade just confirmed actually. So this candle just closed with this 13. Yeah, this is what I want right here. This is exactly what I want. I'm only going to put half of it is on here. Let's move this down a little bit. Yeah, I'll put on half for now. So I just jumped in just now. And we jump in again here. All right, cool. So this is what I want to be in no matter what right now, but I only put on half my position because I am expecting this to pull back just a little bit. And if it comes and pulls up to here, I will throw my other position on here. So I'll just put a quick alert and just say second entry here. Right. So if it does get to this point, just know I'm going to put my other position on, which this might happen any second, or it might not. You never know. It might just tank from where it's at. But I was looking at this for quite some time, but I was waiting for this second leg. I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen, but boom, we just got one nice red shift candle right in the middle of the session. Now I'm interested in this. This is nearly a 2-for-1 trade. On the first position, it's about 2 for 1. And if we can get this to pull back to around here, this is almost a little bit more than, 2.5. So looking pretty good on this position. I like the way it sets up. We got everything we need. And this might be a good one. So I'm closing this no matter what by the end of the day, because I won't hold this over the weekend. But yeah, I just wanted to show that really quick. Sorry about that. Go right ahead.
Thank you, Michael, for this. Excellent. I hope that you will get nice profit in this trade.
Of course.
So, what I started to talk about, yes. I started to talk about the US dollar drop on the June 12th, and after that we started to see the climbing. And everything changed, and we saw the big drop in euro dollar and British pound dollar. But yesterday in the evening, in the late US session, we got this breakout. This breakout below the simple moving average 50 and below my trend line relative strength index indicator. And now is that euro dollar and British pound dollar starting to go up again. And from then I'm bullish, the euro dollar and British pound dollar, and I have this bullish bearish invalidation point. So everything is aligned. I hope that the US dollar will keep below simple moving average 50, and I hope that euro dollar and British pound dollar will go up. So this is my setup related to the US dollar index. Now, as you saw, I created a trade for the gold, and I just want to describe what's happened here and why I did this trade. Actually, if you see, we got on Friday the peak, the highest high for gold. And the last Friday, we started to go down. And it was the down move, and the whole time we're down. And several times we approached this trend line that I just drew. And times we tried, but we didn't break this trend line or relative strength index. And in one moment today, just 1 hour before the US Open and the opening range, we made this strong, really strong pullback, but the pullback was really small. And I entered into the trade. Oh, here at the free 40. So this is the low, the previous low is low for my trade. And what I'm trying to target is this level here. It is the point of control of the June 17, when price oscillates a lot here at the 3,417. So this is my target. Actually, I will just put this is the 1 to 1.5 risk reward ratio, but I think it's a good setup when you have this 1 hour daily candle that we have for the gold. So this is my two trades. So I'm bullish gold and I'm bullish British pound dollar, and I'm as a bullish euro dollar too. I pick British pound dollar because I think that momentum can be better, and like Michael did euro British pound short trade, and I think too. I think that the British pound is stronger than euro, so I think that the British pound can achieve faster the high than euro. So this is everything aligned and everything in the right move. What I wanted. Right now, I see a little pullback of the British pound dollar down. It didn't start to go up, but above a simple moving average, and I hope that we will keep up and that we will today start to go up again. Maybe we test this blue trend line here. Maybe 10 pips we can go down, for example, and then I hope that we will start to go up. So this is the plan for the British pound dollar. And then I'm going to the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ is the strongest indices today.
That might be
and I just want to show my missing trade today, which is I'm a little bit sad because of that. But I will tell you how this trade was really, really perfect. But yet the only problem was that it was in the morning and I didn't check indices often. In the UK early morning, I do not do that very often, so I made the trade by accident. So what's happened here? NASDAQ from the June 16th, and we got a bearish trend for the NASDAQ, and we can draw this trend line. This is the weekly 2, 3, and in the fourth attempt we break that, and we break that early Asia session, late US session in that moment yesterday. And what's happened? We break that, go a little bit higher, then we back again to retest the trend line. So look this, perfectly we retest, touch the trend line to the pit, and then we started to go up. And I missed that entry point. It was exactly on 50 relative strength index. It was exactly touched this pivot point. It was exactly on the end of the UK Open. So when the UK Open, that first hour of the UK Open market, we touched the level in the same moment, and then we started to go up. So I didn't catch that level, and now I'm of course outside of this trade. Now there was a question from the Robert. I just wanted to answer his question. Which one you guys hold long, super long trades? So on one account, I have a super long trade, and I will show you that. I will go to the daily chart, and that would be 500, not NASDAQ, actually, but the same story, the same setup, actually very similar level. What's happened there? So we got almost 20-25% drop during the April, and this drop was so high, and it is something uncommon. So usually in a few decades, in one decade, you will have at most 5 opportunities for this kind of trades, that you have a drop of a 20-25% of the whole stock market. And when that happens, it's really smart to make a good buy trade. What I realized related to the S&P 500 was this moment. It was this moment in the end of the April, somewhere here at the 5,390 level, I spot this relative trend index breakout, and I entered into the trade, actually after the retest of that level. And now I hold this trade, and my plan is not to close ever. So I just want to see if that's possible, because if the markets start to go up on the end of the year and I do not touch this level, I hope that I can try to hold position forever. I just want to see how that looks like, because this is for now my oldest position, because it's a position from the 2 months ago, and I would like to hold it even 5 years if I can. So I know it's a little bit crazy, but those are indices. There is a chance that we can see a higher price without drops, and that I can hold this trade for a long time. So this is the S&P 500, my long-term trade. For NASDAQ, like I said, I just missed this. Try to catch the NASDAQ during the US Open, which is excellent strategy. But sometimes market will give you opportunity even during the UK Open, and I just missed that opportunity. So for this part, these are my setups that I watch, that I want to see what would happen. Of course, what I watch too
here
is the US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD is interesting because we just minutes ago we break this bearish momentum, so maybe can something be here, but actually it's a little bit too high for me to buy from this level. Either that we break this bearish trend line. I think that really this is too high price, and if I want to buy US dollar CAD, I need to wait some better price. And actually I don't believe that US dollar index will be so strong today. Maybe during the weekend and after the weekend, but right now I don't see that. Actually I'm long British pound dollar and gold, so it will be the trade that it's not aligned with my basic idea of trading. And just to share opinion about Bitcoin, there was one beautiful moment. It was early morning. It was 6 a.m. on my time. What's happened here? We had a low for Bitcoin. That low was the June 17, a Tuesday, and we started to recover little bit by little bit, and we got one attempt here on the 19 Thursday yesterday. And what's happened today in early morning, we retest the trend line again, and that was perfect moment to try to enter into the trade, and maybe to try to target like this level at 106, actually $107,000, which was the point of interest during the June 17. So actually right now we are a little bit weaker. Of course I didn't enter into nice level, so I'm out of this trade, but there was one good opportunity that I missed just because of it was a really early morning on my time, and I didn't see that. So for this part of the session I finished. And guys, if you have some setups, or people, if you have any questions, you can ask, and we will try to answer. So this is the for this part of the session.
Yeah.
Nice.
Michael, how is going?
That EG trade is actually coming back. It's kind of
nice.
Actually, both of them are. The EG trade is coming back. I'm gonna go ahead and enter the second position on this AF trade because it's actually at the 13. And let's see.
Come on, gold. I need you to drop a little bit more.
Which this is expected. This is exactly why. Let me share my screen actually. Yeah, this is why I said I would put half my position on. Because if it pulls back to this price, not on EG, but on AF.
What have we been seeing here? Sorry, I've been trying to get my other trades in.
Yep, this is expected for price to pull back right to this point, right here. They like to close and then pull back to the 13 EMA and then drop, which is why I said, I'll wait to put the second position on. So.
Oh, I should probably.
Yes, we lost Michael by accident. Something sometimes happens. The wrong button.
Yeah, it happens. It happens to me quite often.
Yes, me too. If you want to share something while Michael back.
Yeah. Let me just quickly dive in, and then when he comes back, he can jump in. So just to let you, we're getting close to my next target on dollar yen. Second. Okay, hopefully you can see the screen here. System orders. Okay, so the first target actually on dollar yen is 145.88. So we're literally a few pips away from that. So that will be the first place I take profits on the long dollar yen position, which was kind of entered yesterday, really. The system's still long sterling yen and euro yen, but the expiry for the trade is the end of the day. I've got some pretty good open profits on those trades, so I've taken those two off manually. So sometimes it is good to kind of interject a little bit with the systems and do something manually. Also, I think the way that the euro dollar and sterling dollar cable are acting in the short term is that they're struggling a little bit. So maybe there's a little bit of dollar strength that we see going into the end of the session. So euro dollar, for example, is kind of struggling up here. It's kind of, you might argue it's made a bit of a double top on the intraday chart. It looks like it's struggling a bit. So maybe euro dollar comes back a little bit. So for me, that kind of says, well, dollar yen could be the fast lane on my yen crosses trades. So the one I want to keep open going into the close is dollar yen, not the other two. So I'm looking really for dollar yen to hit that target maybe in the next hour or so, and then that'll be like take some profits on that position. Bitcoin, the stop is at entry price, so it's come back quite hard. Maybe I'll end up getting stopped out at break even on the rest of it, but the stop loss is there anyway. So if the market bounces from here, then happy days. But it could come back, take the stop out, and then we walk away. But that's just the nature of the beast sometimes. But it does look like on the in the short term, it looks like euro dollar and sterling dollar are struggling a bit. So maybe, even though I'm longer term, and I'll come back to that longer term idea, that is that I'm really, really bullish. But for now, for today, it looks like maybe we're struggling a little bit. So so for me, there it is. It's just been hit. So yeah, just hit that first target on dollar yen. So profits have been taken on a third of the position. So that seems to be where we are right now. So yeah, I'll hand it back over now. So.
All right. Sorry about that. Not sure what that was. Go ahead and share this. Here, these both are. This is the irony of trading Friday. Like Fridays are so wacky sometimes. So I'm slightly out on this one on EG. Luckily, it's still early. We got plenty of time on it. and then this AF trade, which is really the one that I want to go. This did pull back to that 13 price. So I did hit that button on there, and I did take a second position. So I'm actually in here twice, down a little less than 0.1% on it right now. We'll see how it actually goes. I'm expecting this to drop, and I did, again, anticipate this slight pullback. They love to close, come back and retest the 13 EMA, and then drop. Once price gets to about here, and this is something else that I like to do too, guys, to kind of keep what I like to call keep a pulse in the market. So once I get in, I like to set these 4 alerts. One is just like saying, hey, this is coming back. It's like going against you at this point. So maybe I'll come back and look at it and make decisions, but technically I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to just leave it alone until it closes back above the 13 EMA. And on the TDI, my second exit trigger is for the RSI line to cross back up past the signal line. So I need both of those to happen for me to exit the trade. Because what could happen is I might get a close above the 13 on the chart, but the TDI says, no, it's not time to close it just yet. Or vice versa. I could get a cross above on a TDI, but the price is still below the 13. So I need them both to agree for me to get out the trade. But if they both happen, I'm out of it, like automatically. I'll just close it. Because at that point, it could literally go the whole other way, and I'm just holding on to a loser at that point. So I would just let it go. But as you guys can kind of see, it did literally come right up to this 13 EMA, touch it, just give it a little kiss. Now it's trying to go back down.
Starting to swoop underneath here.
Again, real time, why exactly I split my positions up into 2. I'll take the first one with half my position, because just in case it doesn't pull back, right? It's not guaranteed that it will do that. And I don't want to miss the run, right? So I always split my positions up. I'll take one as soon as the candle closes, and then I'll take the second one that's the slight pullback. Yeah, I do got this alert on here that says AF coming back. Just in case it does start coming back, I want to see it if I'm not in front of my screen. And then secondly is the stop loss hit. So if it does get to this stop loss and I'm not in front of my charts, I want to just know, send me a message. And then I'm going to move my stop loss to break even and normally take off partials at about this price here. And then lastly,
so
of course, I got
the low of
I said stop loss to break
yesterday.
This is supposed to say TP.
Oh, I should have baby stepped.
And I like to use the trading jargon, just saying TP smack. This is what I normally put.
Actually, that would have been perfect. I don't know that I would have.
I really don't have to even monitor this throughout the rest of the day at this point. Like, there's no, I'll look at it at the top of the hour. So like 11, 12, whatever. I'll always monitor it from there. But in between an hour,
maybe I should have been paying attention.
I just always would know with these 4 EMAs based off, where we actually are in the cycle. So yeah, that's that on AF. And then coming back to this EG, I see we're down a little bit on it. Yeah, it's kind of being a little funky, just a little bit. And I might go ahead and close this, actually. Yeah, I might go ahead and close this. So this is what I mean, right? When I say I need both. As you can see, price is above the 13 EMA. It did close above it after this huge engulfing candle, which to me is not good. This is not good. I don't want it to close above the last 2 hours of work that it's done. But we have one confirmation closing above the 13 EMA. And then if you look on the second one, you can see that it dropped. Line is crossed.
Okay. I was actually gonna wait for a little bit
this
of
for me
more
is a
up
clear.
right here. Let's see.
Get out of it.
Oh, so it started to come up.
Kind of entry.
I thought maybe here. I was watching
exit,
the other thing, and
so
then
kind of
sucks,
sucks.
and then boom.
But this is part of it, especially because this is a pretty high probability setup. But those two things, in addition to this huge one candle, just literally wiped out the last 2 hours of work. I do not like that. So I'm going to go ahead and close this trade. And yeah, so I just closed it. So yeah, this one is done at this point. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I will not be trying to trade this again. Now, what it could do is, just want to throw this out here. This is the next setup in the cycle, right? So just kind of check this out. This would be an ID 50 move, right? So we got this 5,200 cross, right? We have this head and shoulders pattern off of this 200 EMA here that ran. The next move is for it to come back and bounce off the 50. And this could drop all the way down to this 200 EMA, which again was the original target anyway. So if this does happen, to be honest, I probably won't take it because it's Friday. But if this did work out, I wouldn't be surprised.
The time that I don't
just put a little note here, and I'll just say check this out, just in case I do change my mind. But I do want to probably stay away from it. And I'm just one of those traders where I'll close my trade and get back in it. I don't want to sit through drawdown, especially in a scenario like this, because this could easily just continue to go up now at this point. This could come back, retest this level, and then drop. And if it does that, I don't want to be holding this the entire time. I want to get out of it. Right. But it does look like this AF trade is starting to go our way a bit. Right. And coincidentally, just look what it did. It literally touched the 13, and now it's dropping. So market makers are hilarious, guys. They do everything they can to try to shake you out of your position.
Oh, big time.
So you gotta expect these things, right? So
yeah,
they're masters at that. So we were down 0.1%. Now we're up slightly.
Nice.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me on my side. Just kind of monitoring these for the rest of the day. See what we got.
Cool. Just a quick update on my side. My Bitcoin's been taken out at entry price. The rest of the position. But 1 second. Hopefully you can see that. Here we go. Let's try that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can you see that screen?
Yep, it just came up.
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. So it basically hit the target, took a third out, and then put the stop at break even. Now it's taken out. So now I'm flat Bitcoin. But interestingly enough, I've got a sell short which comes in at 104,236.
Right,
so if that happens, if we get like a big flush to the downside, I'll actually be going short because that would give me the kind of the reverse signal to the other side. So I'm keeping my eye on Bitcoin. If we get that big flush out to the downside, we may not, but if we do, then I'll be looking to take a short position. As I say, I've taken out the. I'm still long. I should still be long, really, sterling yen and euro yen, but I've taken them both out manually because I can see that the dollar is a little bit strong. As I said before, against the pound, starting to ease back a little bit, and against the euro as well, starting to ease back
really want to gamble
a
on
bit. So for me, as we're kind of we're late stages on these trades. You can see literally this euro yen has held long since 9:30 yesterday morning. So we're kind of long in the tooth on the trade. So it wouldn't surprise me if we get some kind of pullback at some point. So I'm happy to be flat out of this one, banking all the profits on that long position. And the same on sterling yen, which again has been long from the same time yesterday. So basically flat these two. The system says I should still be long, but I'm kind of overriding the system a little bit. Sometimes you need to override the system a little bit, and especially with the weekend coming up. But as I say, I'm still long. I'm happy to hold dollar yen because there is that strength of the dollar going into the late session. So I'm happy to be. Where is it gone? Happy to still be long dollar yen, just in case we get a bit of a follow through into the close or towards the close anyway. So that's kind of where I am on the trades. Just a quick one before I hand it back over to Igor. On the dollar index, I saw a question on dollar index just come through there. Where are we? Andre, can we see it hitting 100,000 in the short term? Yeah, there is that possibility. There is that possibility. I can actually, one second, let me just come out of the, purely because we've got this this kind of mini rebound. One second, let me just get my trading platform window. One second, let's try that. And just very, very quickly, I want to, before I hand it over to Igor, can you see my trading view chart with all of
Yes, we can.
All the presidents on there? Just very, very quickly, I'm extremely bearish on the US dollar long term for reasons that I've mentioned before in terms of the technicals, the Elliott wave counts, etc. But also this is something I've mentioned on a regular basis as well, that typically under Republican administrations, the dollar likes to fall, and under a Democrat administrations, the dollar likes to rise. So you can see what I've done here. This is just from left to right, the back end of Reagan, which saw the Plaza Accord and then the crash. Then George Bush Sr. down, Clinton up, George Bush Jr. down, Obama up, Trump 1 down, Biden up, and here we are with Trump number 2, the second administration.
That's very interesting.
So for whatever reason, who knows what the reasons are, and that's another debate. But I just wanted to share that chart with you because I mention it quite a lot, and it's one of the reasons why I'm kind of bearish the dollar. But in addition to the technical analysis, so I'll hand it back to you guys.
Mm-hmm. I remember you said that a time or two, Howard. It was cool that you just marked the chart up like that to show it visually. That's really good.
Yeah, so sometimes it's much better when you see the chart because it's much clearer to see. So
right. No, that's really nice.
Nice observation about presidents. I just think a little bit. It's I think it's because Republicans they're pushing stocks up, and usually when they push stocks up, the U.S. dollar index is going down. So this is the Republicans' plan all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting. It really is. I mean, I guess my theory is
really interesting.
I guess my theory is more that they like to stimulate the economy and to make the dollar cheaper. You know, like a competitive type thing. But you know, at the end of the day, a lot of people say that, you know, the Fed is more important, but who knows? It just seems to me that the administrations tend to be very, very different in terms of how the US dollar trades. So I'll leave that hanging in the air today.
Nice observation. So I just want to answer on question, Andre. You said Igor, British pound dollar we closed today at 1.344. So this is my stop loss, but I think it will not close there exactly. But we will see. I don't know what will happen. But I'm looking right now, and I will show that on the chart. So this is the British pound dollar. I will go to the one days ago. So what we can see, we had one attempt, and now this is another attempt to break this trend line. So if we in next 30 minutes stay above of 1.3470 like we are right now, if we try to do above that level, there is a big chance that we will start to go up and recover for this drop. However, if we see the break down, yes, it can be 1.344, maybe lower, and then everything can change. And I think that there's a lot of impact, political situation, and this war and everything. And I think that a lot of people trying to go away from the US dollar, as there is a chance that US dollar can go really, really high if we see any kind of the war interruption or war interaction or something like that from the side of the US. So I'm just watching, and I would like to see reaction right now. So next half hour, if we see no reaction, there is a problem. So we have the 0.346. Why? Because this level during the UK Open. So this is the UK Open lowest price, and we are retesting right now. But I want to see reaction here. I want to, touch this level, and in the next 10-15 minutes just to go up very fast, and then to do continuation of the bullish trend. If we fail below that, start to, choppy price, pressure down, etc., I will be out of all my trades, and I will not trade that. And if we just talk about gold is in the similar situation right now. We're pushing lower this hour, but of course this hour is not the end of this hour, and I think that we have enough power to go up. And I think that this is not only because of the US dollar. I think that the gold is more stronger than any other currency right now, because if we just look on the chart and the bigger perspective, like on daily chart, we can see how we are really, really high right now. As you can see, this is the really one of the highest pushes of the gold, and I believe that this bullish trend isn't over. So we will see what will happen here, but I think that we can much higher. And what is the interesting fundamentally, because if we check, we can see that even the US dollar index is up or down. We can see that inflation reports for all countries together are a little bit higher than expected. And because the gold is hedged against the inflation, I think that if we push inflation higher and higher, either moderate higher, gold will push higher too. So I hope that we will go up. So we will see what will happen here. It's a little bit tricky because the US dollar is the bigger question mark right now. Guys, what do you think about NASDAQ and indices right now in the market?
Man, like they're in a very interesting area, right? Like I've been trying to trade them all week, but it never really like technically sets up like really close. And I don't like to take trades when it's at its peak high like that, right? Like NASDAQ 100 is nearly not far away at all from the all-time high. I don't want to take, it's like buying Bitcoin at 110,000, right? Like I want a retracement a little bit. Let me get a better pricing, and then maybe we can kind of think about it. But yeah, let me share my screen actually and kind of bring up some points here, because yeah, I've been looking, but hasn't been going too well to say the least. I've been just kind of watching them. I got these at the top here. Yeah, definitely just really hot. Like I don't want to. I don't really want to take this. For me, what would need to happen is this would need to peak out, right? Like now, since we have our 5,200 cross, my next move is I'm looking for that M structure off the 200. We are going right? So my market baseline would need to go above this static line.
That is what we got to do.
Right, like this for that, what I call that reload.
We did get this reload, took
right? Because once this happens, for me, what's happening is they're tagging on
with
and
the
activating
trade
those long
that
orders.
we had today.
So I want to get those. I want them to at least track those traders first.
Lost
See something like this,
and
M structure, and then here I'll be interested in the short here.
So I don't know what that one started out. We ended a little bit
stop above there.
Positive. We missed this. Came down, hit our target.
You know, something like I'll take this every day. Every day, twice on Sunday.
We missed this. We were trying to trade the other accounts.
You can already see the TDI. The RSI line is outside of this blue Bollinger Band.
We weren't paying attention still. We missed this other drop.
And then I want to see it come inside the band as well.
I'm trying to see. And then I didn't take this trade
here.
Probably should have. I kind of want to take this bounce up to here.
US 30, right? This one's a little ugly for the simple fact that prices between.
But there's always going to be more trades. Oh,
it will be difficult to.
Like it's about to move either
even
direction.
Though we have
there
this
it goes, going down.
5,200 cross.
Well, good thing I didn't
looking for that same pattern, right? That
so good times.
Off the 200.
Anyways,
with the reload.
That might be the last trade
reload here.
Week. We'll see.
Right. The only thing with this one is what makes this ugly to me is the M.
I will be at.
You would need price to close
all the loves
below this 800 EMA journeys. Because if it doesn't, it can bounce off of it and go back the other way.
Probably won't be.
So it's not as pretty to me
we'll
as
probably have just this
NAS 100
on here.
And then if you look at it, we're not even really at the full 141. So this would need to go a little bit further.
Anyways, all the loves,
which is kind of